Got Michael Williams Jr., 20-1, 13
Sure.
KOs. Got the biggest fight of his life coming up February 25th on BLK Prime against none other than Adrien Broner, about billions. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Yeah, so before we get into the fight with AB, and obviously that's what we're here to talk about, for those that don't know you, as I mentioned, you only have one loss on your record. How did you get into boxing?
Yeah. Just it was random. You know, a lot of people got the stories how they be like, hey, if it wasn't for boxing, I wouldn't do this and that, or boxing found me. My story's different, man. We just literally moved to North Carolina, and he was like, hey, let's try something. My parents just put me in the gym, and the rest is history, man. Because I got the mentality that whatever I do, I'm gonna go all in for it. So whether it was hockey, soccer, whatever it was, I was gonna be the top of it. But it just happened to be boxing, man. So we just stuck with it. I did amateurs. I was ranked number 18 in the nation before we went pro. And the rest is history. Now we here, man, fighting AB.
Yeah, so how old were you when you got started? When you first went into
Um
the gym?
I was 8 turning 9 around that time.
And
So
and when did you have
I
your first amateur fight?
around like 10 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I was around that age of 10 when I first was like I was sparring before, but you know, my first amateur show was around that age of 10.
Okay. So you were young. You've been at this a little bit.
Oh yeah, I've been doing it for a long time, man.
Yeah, so when you got the call to fight AB, obviously, he's, four division world champion, one of the biggest names in the sport, kind of one of those rare, what I would consider crossover stars.
Yeah.
Where were you and what was your reaction?
First and first, I was asleep, because it was it was early in the morning, and Christy had called my pops to set up. She the one that gave us the call and stuff. He was like, he ran in there, he was like, "Yo, I just got a call. You trying to fight AB?" And like I said, I was asleep, but he was like, "Come on, it's AB." Like I don't know, but I said yes. I said hell yes. Like we definitely let's do it. I was training already because I had like a fight and stuff coming up. Oh no.
Okay. You good?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, we were receiving a call. But yeah, I was already training and had a fight coming up. So we was like, yeah, let's take it. And we had like a month or so to prepare. So there was no hesitation. I made it happen.
And your dad, as you mentioned, and is one of your trainers. Um,
Yep.
did your dad box at all when you were growing up,
Um,
or he's just
not
a
not
big?
not really. It was just he did like a little bit, but it wasn't nothing. He was most like a ball player, lifted weights, that type of thing, man. He shoot guns. That's what he did.
And your dad was all in on this fight as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. We definitely all in. We a team. We came together, talked about it. We was all definitely in.
Great, great. Now you only, like I mentioned at the beginning, you only have one loss a couple fights ago to John Baza. You
Yeah.
got knocked down, I think, about 4 or 5 times in that fight. What happened in that fight?
It was the weight cut issue, man. I feel like a lot of people that don't really understand boxing or even know me, just that weight cut sucked. That was my first time in like years, man, dropping all the way down to 140, and then it sucked. You could just tell that I got older, my body grew, and I just couldn't make that weight anymore. But we still went for it. Even Roy, during the camp, he was watching us. He talked to my pops and was like, "Hey, Mike Jr. not the strongest at 140, but like I said, we got this winning mentality. So we was like, let's still go for it. But it's the real, man. I think I came in for at Williams at like 137 or 138, and my body was done, bro. Like I couldn't really put that much weight back on. It just sucked. So like the results is, what you see. Like I really couldn't do nothing. Body felt weak, legs felt weak, everything just felt weak. Like mentally I was there, but physically I couldn't perform. So that's why you just like the shots I was getting hit with, like if you notice like me after the fight, I wasn't bruised or my face wasn't beat up. It was just like one little push or something, like it just I just fell, man. It sucked. So we
And
definitely lived and learned. We're not gonna do that again.
yeah, and you knew going into the fight, it sounds like that you didn't feel right.
Yeah, I mean we was in the beginning we thought, we'll cut down then like gain all that weight back because like I'm a natural, I walk around pretty big. So if I cut down like 140, I'm going to just be just way bigger and stronger. But that definitely didn't happen. So we live and you learn pretty much. So
Yeah, and you mentioned Roy Jones, and I was going to go there, but let's go there now. Nobody knows about weight cut and doing what Roy did, going up to heavyweight and coming back down. Uh, how, how did you hook up with Roy? I know I've seen on social media with you and your dad and Roy, and you guys have been together for a long time. How did that relationship start?
I think I was like 3-0 maybe. And
Mhm.
I had this video of me sparring, and I was just doing tricks, move, different footwork, so just being myself. And we had a friend by the name of Sunshine. She was friends with Roy, and she just pretty much sent Roy the video like, "Hey, check this kid out." And Roy was like, he was just pretty much impressed. He was saying like these moves that I'm watching, like you just can't teach that. Like somebody has to be like naturally talented. So I'll say like a week later, he called my dad and was like, "Da da da, this is Roy Jones. Da da da. We got a fight next week. Y'all interested to fight on there?" He was like, hell yeah. We got Roy Jones calling us. It's funny because we wasn't really training to nothing. I think I was out on vacation to see my grandmother in New Jersey, so we wasn't even like ready. But when like again, like when a great opportunity comes, you just got sometimes you gotta suck it up, take the sacrifice and take it because the outcome might be good. So that's when we went down to fight, man, pretty much. And we fought at this. We fought crazy. Just crazy. I fought at it's like around super middleweight. This guy because they told us that he's an MMA guy. He's not playing a big part. So we were like, all right, cool. We took it. That's when first round was tough, but second round I came in and knocked Buddy out. I think I weighed in like the weight difference is so crazy for like the wins. We had to like stuff in my pockets so I can meet that like weight difference requirement just to fight the guy because he was around like 160 something. But like again, I just came in and knocked him out. And Roy he was just impressed, man. And ever since then we've been locked in with him.
And obviously, there's only one Jones Jr.
Yeah.
Nobody ever has fought like him, or just a supernatural athlete. What have you learned mostly from a guy like Roy?
Just great boxing, man. Pretty much the game of boxing and just what we do and the reason of why we're doing it pretty much. Instead of just in it throwing combinations, we here to set up shots. So like look for this, do this just so we can get this off of them. So we get that technical work and that mental work in the ring too. And with Roy, he's a genius. So and sometimes we might have a day where we do something, then we might go watch some footage of him and you can see in the fight how what we just trained for, how that worked and how he set that up in the fight. So it's just I'm getting that good work. It's not just we in here hitting the bags, doing mitts, getting rounds in, and we go home. We actually studying boxing and what we doing in the ring is going to show.
Yeah, and I think your dad's going to join us here in a second. But so there's
Cool,
an
cool.
there's an actual method to the madness, is what I'm hearing. And I think
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, and I think hearing that about Roy, sometimes people may think because he's such a great athlete, it just comes so natural. But he really has the mental
Yeah,
side to fighting.
Exactly. And that's like I said, we go back and watch footage and it shows, like from like watching from the outside in, you think like you just said, he just naturally talented, like he just doing it and getting away with it. But now he's really in there setting things up and still being himself too at the same time. So that's what we definitely learning.
Right, right. And so I gotta ask you, Michael, you're only 23. You've been at this for a
Yeah.
long time, but you are fighting a guy that has worlds of experience. With the guy, in the ring with Manny Pacquiao, Marcos Mondana, Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas. What gives you the confidence at such a young age? Obviously, there's your dad. How you doing, Senior, Mr. Williams?
What's
What
going
gives
on,
you the
Jeff? How you doing?
Good, good. What gives you that confidence going in? A guy like AB, who obviously has been kind of up and down the last handful of years, but still been around a little bit.
First thing first, like you said, those top guys he fought, that was like 20 years ago. He's getting old. He's not the same AB no more. And time changes. Everybody go through their moments in life, and I'm the one I'm the one when he was popping in the age and he was strong. That's me right now. So times it flipped. So I'm definitely coming in there and bringing that force, man. I'm the young guy. He's definitely smaller. I'm taller, bigger. He shouldn't be fighting at 47, man. And we gonna show him. We're gonna show him why.
Do you think he's overlooking you because he's got bigger in his mind, bigger fish to fry?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I don't know. He's looking at me as a, like you said, just fight this kid, get over with, got more to fight. But
Let me ask your dad, Mr. Williams, since you're here. When you got the call to fight AB, I asked your son earlier, what was your initial reaction?
This is it. This is our chance to make everything right. This is our chance to erase that Madison Square Garden disaster against John Bowser, where Mike was just weak and dehydrated. The world didn't get a chance to really see that he can really fight, and then they based him off of his that performance, and then they always based it off of his box rec on who he fought, coming up. But we're independent, Jeff, so we had to fight who we could afford, but that doesn't take away his skills. They say, oh, he's not ready. Oh, okay, you're basing it off of the Madison Square Garden fight. You know what I'm saying? See,
Right.
the fans are so fickle, Jeff. You got a young man like Mike Jr. willing to fight anybody. They don't want that. You know what I'm saying? When we take step up fights, he still don't get the credit for taking a step up fight. You know what I'm saying? So once we got that call, this was it, bro. This was Mike. This is God sent. You know what I'm saying? And I love boxing because this is why we all gotta love boxing. You get these kind of situations like this. You get AB coming back from everything he's been through, and then you get a chance, like you get an opportunity like Mike Jr.'s getting to step up, show his skills, shock the world. Bro, this is great. Everybody should be tuning into this to see what's going to happen. You feel me?
Absolutely. And when you talked to Roy about the fight, what was Roy's initial thought?
First thing Roy did was say, "Let me speak to Mike." You know what I mean? Because I'm a dad.
Right.
You got to make sure dad ain't the one tripping, which I never do that, Jeff. I'll never put my son in shit that I'm going to always support him. I'll never put him in harm's way. He's a fighter. He's a boxer. He's a fighter. He's a boxer. This is what he wanted to do, so I'm going to support him no matter what. So the first thing Roy said, I want to speak to Mike. Mike, is this what you want? Junior said, yes, Roy. Yes, coach. And Roy said, let's beat him. Let's do it. That's it.
And now you have the fight. So let me ask both of you, what is it going to take to beat Adrien Broner? Again, even if he's older, even if he hasn't really been in the ring much, he still has a lot of experience, right? A lot of savviness under his belt. What will it take to beat a guy like AB?
Hold on, Mike. Don't answer that. We don't want to talk about what it's going to take because they're going to watch this. I think everybody got to just tune in and see Mike Jr. perform. I think it's going to shock his entire team, especially after the first 2-3 rounds. They're going to have to make some adjustments and realize, hey, we got to take this kid serious because AB is going to look bad. He has to knock Mike Jr. out. He has to knock Mike Jr. out.
Mm-hmm.
He has to. He can't go the distance with Junior, right? Because he has explaining to do. And he's not going to necessarily say, hey, the kid was better than what I thought, and the world 147 need to be on notice. Mike Jr. is here. He's not going to do that. You know what I mean? So we're not going to discuss that, Jeff. Everybody's going to have to tune in. Mike's going to be ready. He's giving his all. We're coming to win. He will win.
And when he wins, what will this fight do for your career, Mike?
First thing first, like you said, we definitely gonna erase that John Bowser thing. So everybody gonna come with a different approach when they hear the name Michael Williams Jr. But it's definitely gonna shock the world, man. It's gonna wake up everybody who slept on me and doubted me, man. It's gonna bring an eye out for everybody in the 147 division, man.
Let me ask you guys this. You mentioned kind of taking your own route. You're kind of, doing it your own way. It sounds very Team Haney-like. Is that kind of the model you guys have been kind of following, or am I missing something?
I guess it's like Team Haney, but we don't even have the money that they have. We make this shit look good, Jeff. We don't have a lot of money, Jeff. Seriously, like, bro, we fundraisers, begging for money. I do what I got to do to support my son. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People that sponsors, people that believe in Mike Jr. I had to promote him. I had to get people to believe and give their money up to Mike Jr. You know what I mean? So Devin and them always had money. We really got this shit from the bottom. Some people say from the bottom. Nah, we didn't have a lot of money. Bill had way more money than me. When Dev and Mike Jr. were 8 and 7 years old, Bill Haney had more money than me. You see what I'm saying? I was just an armed security guard. I'm sure Bill had way more money than me, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think ours is similar, but we struggle a lot more. And that's not taking nothing away from them because we admire them. The Haneys did a great job. We want to be there. Yeah, that's right. We want to be there where they at. But we had a little rough. We're still independent. Nobody still don't believe in Mike Jr. Top Rank. In order for Top Rank to sign Mike Jr. or to give us a look, we had to fight John Bowser to get on. Nobody else had it hard like that. Most of these young prospects, when they get signed to Top Rank or PBC and stuff like that, they get those guys with the nice looking records that these kids going to beat up on. Mike Jr. had to fight John Bowser as his first look to get signed to Top Rank. Come on, man. Bowser's tough. Even though Bowser got his ass whipped by Richard Hitchison, which we were supposed to have done that, but Bowser's still a tough kid. You know what I mean? So we get everything the hard way, but this fight right here, God giving Mike a blessing. Like, you know what? I seen what you and your father and your team is doing. Here go Adrien Broner. I'm giving it to you. Go out and shock the world. This is it. And Mike Jr. knows that. He knows he has to get. Me and Roy Jones should not be in a corner saying, let your fucking hands go, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Go get him. Be aggressive. Mike don't have nothing to lose. Go get him. Go beat AB.
Now, Mike Jr. was mentioning earlier what you learned from that last fight, just the weight cut, being drained going in. Obviously, Broner's a smaller guy. I mean, he's, I think started at 130 or so. So no concerns there, I would imagine. You learned a lot from that from that Bowser fight.
And yeah, Pussy, I'll say that he's not as big and tall as Bowser was. So weight cut, and that's we're not worried about that this fight. We're in a whole nother mindset. So that's far gone. We here where we at. Like where we at now is it's definitely it's good. We ready.
147. Awesome. I think AB is going to experience what Mike experienced in New York. He spent his whole camp, Jeff. And Jeff, you're a boxing guy. I think we friends on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Jeff, shout out to AB, right? We thank him and his team for the opportunity because they didn't have to fight Mike. They could have said, get out of here. Give me anybody else, right? But they gave it to Junior. AB spent his whole damn camp just to look good for pictures. From about almost 200 pounds to make 147. He's going to feel the same way Mike Jr. felt when Mike was walking around at 160-something and dropped all the way down to 137. It's going to be hard to perform. See, they think Mike Jr. is easy work. See, they figure, hey, we lose the weight. You don't have to box. You're already skilled enough to beat this kid. The kid is bringing some heat, bro. And AB got to close the distance and everything. And he's going to catch a lot of punches coming in. Jeff is going to be great, bro. It's going to be, I'm glad they set this fight up too, Jeff. I'm going to say this in the mouth, fellas. I'm going to let y'all be. I'm glad they set this fight up, Jeff, because it's one of those fights, man, where we have to start changing the direction in boxing, right? We see boxing going so many different directions. We've seen Floyd fighting Conor McGregor. We seen Jake Paul and his brother come in and mix things up. This right here is great because we got AB, he's a future Hall of Famer, and then they give a kid who's not even freaking ranked, right, an opportunity, and then he comes in and he wins. That's the shit boxing needs. Jeff, I love you. Son, I love you. Do your thing tonight in practice. I'm gone.
Good to see you, Mr. Williams.
All
right, fellas.
All right. So we'll wrap it up here. I'm glad to get your dad on here. I think he had tried to ping on here, and I didn't catch it at the beginning. But it was good to get his perspective. But we'll wrap it up. Obviously, your dad's in your corner. That's a great feeling. Will Roy be there on fight night? I presume.
Oh yeah. He will.
And I know he has a gym at home in Pensacola. So is that where you guys train, or?
Yeah, that's where I'm at now.
That's where you're at now.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Like I said, we ready, man. We definitely coming with a whole nother preparation this whole fight. Everything gonna be different.
Everything's gonna be different. Well, you heard it. Michael Williams Jr. had his pops, Michael Williams Sr., ready to shock the world. February 25th on BLK Prime pay-per-view. That's always tough to say, put all those words together. But I've been following your career for a long time, Michael, and I'm excited to see you. I mean, if nothing else, the one thing that Adrien Broner does bring to the ring is entertainment, just in and out of the ring. So looking forward to the fight. So, and just real quick, what should we expect on February 25th?
Fireworks, man. Like you said, it's gonna be an entertaining fight. Whatever he brings, we definitely gonna bring that energy back. So if he want to get crazy, we definitely bring the same force back. So, and plus he entertaining and I'm entertaining. So we're gonna see who gonna rise to the top. You know, he got something to prove, and I definitely got something to prove. So we're gonna see who the best man that day is. So y'all tune in, man.
All right, everyone tune in, catch Michael Williams Jr. Trying to get his name out there. This could be his launch pad for bigger things against AB, Adrien Broner, February 25th on BLK Prime pay-per-view. Michael, appreciate the time, and we'll do this again soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks.